Alert. Impact detected on decks 1, 2, 5, 8. Hull plating integrity 10%.
Return fire, get us out of here now.
Critical damage sustained. Ship hull integrity failing. Recommend immediate evacuation.
Send a message to all ships, get out. Welcome back, and I would just like to say before we start, thank you very much for the support on the last episode. We're here once again with the United Earth States in Aurora 2.2, and in today's episode I want to do a few very specific things indeed. Number one, I want to continue our colonization of the solar system. I also want to begin working towards our geosurvey equipment and figure out our Martian situation, finish up our finding out about the Mercury problems, get a colony towards 75 Apucci, and also begin building new ships and looking towards new research for new vessels to deal with upcoming threats. Now that aliens exist and we have verifiable proof of such, that we have engaged and that they are hostile, we will need to take that planet by force. And that is going to take quite a bit of effort. To accomplish this, we will need to stabilize these jump points, which we are doing over here. So the CS Yuki, which is in Sirius at the moment, so that is the Yilki, requires new orders. We're going to have you head back to Sol, refuel, resupply, and then head straight back to Sirius and enter one of the jump points. Now, Sirius, as many people will know or see, has 4 total jump points. It may have more even. These jump points are going to mean that colonization is going to be imperative of this system, as well as deployment of military assets to protect this. Sol only has one way in at the moment, and that way in is through the jump point over here. The Sirius jump point. So the first cruiser destroyer squadron is back home, and they suffered quite a bit of damage, of course. The Sidewinder has had its armor damage and it's held its ground, and we are currently carrying approximately 300 survivors from the engagement. We're going to have our ships unload them and make sure that they're all okay, and then finally we are going to get some repairs on the way as quickly as possible on that ship. So we're going to get repairs being built, and we are going to order up a new support vessel to provide transportation. So we're going to put the UES Werewolf, and we're currently building a variety of ships, more transportation ships for cargo, 2 new destroyers, a new Manticore class vessel, and we are also building up the remaining ships as needed. We have discovered the system of Altair, a very interesting system. Let's have a look at the system that we can see. There is a habitable world in here, apparently. Yes, there is. Altair 5. Okay, this is a very interesting system. So, first we have a gas giant, 185 million kilometers out. And we have another gas giant 300 million kilometers out. So 2 gas giants. They have a variety of moons on those two moons, which are relatively big size. We then have Altair 3, which is a small dwarf planet. Altair 4 is a terrestrial world at 2.0 colony cost. It has a nitrogen oxygen atmosphere, but it looks like it has, what would that be? Too much oxygen, just a little bit too much oxygen. And it is a bit too warm. It's 54 degrees, it is 76% liquid, which is perfect, and it's a jungle mountain world, which makes it a very defensible world. It is massive though, 22,000 in diameter, and it has a very non-eccentric orbit. It also has 4 moons, or 5 moons, but they are quite small. And then we have Altair 5. Altair 5 is a tundra world with a breathable atmosphere. Looks like, why is that not breathable? Okay, we just need to tone the oxygen down a little bit. and that's breathable. Temperature, it's -13. The lowest it gets is -16. So these are two very easily colonizable worlds that we can make use of. 33 billion people can live on this. Depending on mineral costs, Altair could turn out to be a big system. Let me just bring up the galaxy map, and we can have a look here. We see that Altair is located here. 75 Hushi and Altair are going to be big colonies. We're getting very lucky on our initial start, but there could be aliens here, so we have to be aware of that. And I also want to check current resource mining situations. We're going to keep those all sending over to Earth. And I want to build, more importantly, I want to build some new fuel harvesters, because we need to increase fuel supplies massively, because as we expand out more, we will, of course, be using more and more fuel. So, the Stratos and Lysimachia have arrived in Altair and will begin surveying the system. So, this is a trinary star system, is it not? No, it's a single star, but it's quite far out. It's about 8 billion kilometers out. Altair 9 is very far away. What is Altair 9? Altair 9 is a dwarf planet. We then have another dwarf, and then we have another gas giant, which is very big. We have 2 more gas giants, 3 gas giants, 4 gas giants? Okay, there are approximately 6 gas giants in this system. This is going to be a very resource-rich system that's going to require some serious guarding and patrolling to ensure that it's okay. We're going to need more ground forces, that's for sure. We're going to send over the Vugelmani to Altair again, because we need to survey as much as we can, ideally. And so far, no aliens have been spotted in system, which is always a good thing to see. Okay, alien races detected in Altair. Okay, Altair aliens. Okay, we have Raka aliens, and considering that we found them nearby, we are not going to take any chances. So that is Altair 5, which is this world indeed. So we are going to hold off, and we're going to make sure that that is exempt if possible, because no shot that I want to send a vessel over to there. Because we know what happened before, and so we're going to give something like that a wide berth. So we are going to move away if possible, as much as we can. We do not want to disturb that. Okay, well, we're over it. Looks like they don't have any STOs, so I'm happy with that. Okay. They don't have any STOs. Good. That was a risk. If they did have STOs, that would have been bad. That would have been real bad. But we're fine for now. Okay, resources. What do we have in Altair? So, on Altair Moon, we've got some resources there. Altair 5 has some resources. Nothing too much, though, sadly. And I'm thinking that we might be overextending ourselves a little bit. I'm going to order up a few more corps of infantry. I'm going to go ahead and train up a new colonial corps, get that built. And so that will give us another set to be ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and train that up. We completed the minimum engine power modifier, Perfectio, and we are going to now look at missile and kinetics weapons. Now, we have a better scientist for these missile and kinetic weapons, though there can only be 5 labs assigned to this one. And then remaining-wise, we're going to do energy weapons. Actually, no, power and propulsion. I need my power and propulsion. I'm going to put 10 labs into capacitor recharge rate 3. 5 labs into jump drive efficiency. No, we're going to go for gaseous fission reactor to start improving technology in terms of our engine capacities. So we're creating the Jupiter Geological Survey Vehicle. We're going to go ahead and create that. So that's going to have 2 sets of geosurvey equipment, and we're going to research that in our ground combat area. We've discovered a system of 61 Cygni. Oh, welcome back. Looks to be pretty empty except for one super Jovian world on the 2nd star, which is going to be very, not too hard to access. But yeah, not the most impressive system. Radiation is also turning this world into a bit of a bad state. We are probably going to have to decontaminate it, but it's fine for now. It will dissipate slowly. Okay, our first two new destroys are completed. The Boa and the Python, named after snakes, of course. DD-13, DD-14. And those are going to be assigned directly to the beleaguered, but now being recreated, 1st Cruiser Destroyer Squadron. And we are still waiting, of course, on the newest vessel, the UES Pollux, which will be replacing their light cruiser duty there. We've finished production of infrastructure at Earth, which is fantastic news. So with that infrastructure now done, we have a ton of infrastructure now on Mars. I'm going to tell Mars to chill out for a second, and we're going to go ahead and order for another, I don't know, 6,000 infrastructure to be built at 15%. The remainders is going to go into mass drivers, which we will need for colonization purposes. So we're going to go ahead and build 20 mass drivers. We're also nearly finished up with our additional stockpiles of missiles. So we are getting those stockpiles sorted out because, of course, we will need them to make sure everything does work out, of course. So the UES Pollux, the first light cruiser that we've built so far, the Manticore has been assigned to shipyard, and we are going to put her into the Cruiser Destroyer Squadron. So we've replaced the losses that we previously had. We also had a couple more cargo ships get built. I am doing a lot of this stuff in the background for reference. I'm getting all this stuff assigned, just so you guys know that. We've completed research into the Jupiter Geological Survey Vessel, which is fantastic news. I might want to consider decontamination equipment next, but I think we're going to hold off on that. And instead, I'm going to go to logistics, and I'm going to start research into, I'm thinking either the salvage module could be a good idea, improved command and control also could be a good idea, but I'm actually going to go for boat bay, because I do want to look at some fighter crafts of some description. We've completed the gravitational survey of 75 Apuchi, which means we can now begin exploration efforts. We're going to send Lysimaca under the command of Emmanuel Acosta through to one of the jump points. We are going to start halting exploration efforts, at least for a little bit, because I am concerned about overextending ourselves too far. If this is a system of 80 Aranius, it has a single world, terrestrial world in it at 5,000 diameter. Not very hospitable, but might have some resources on it. Okay, great news. We have finished stabilization on the Sirius jump point, so we can now enter Sirius, which is beautiful. We are going to send the Cordelia now to stabilize the Altair jump point, and we are going to order up a transport to bring the first proper sets of colonists and peoples to our first extrasolar colony in Sirius. If you guys have any name suggestions, by the way, do let me know, as I can imagine that could be quite fun to do. So we are going to move over our colonists as well as the necessary infrastructure, which we don't yet have. In fact, what we are going to do is have to halt Martian colonization, which we will do. We're going to halt Martian colonization for now, while we wait for more infrastructure to be completed to then send that over to Sirius. The Hyperion just completed establishing the first gateway to 75 Apuchi. We are going to now begin stabilizing the other end, and this should allow us access to begin securing the system properly. To begin training our first geological survey battalions, which we will need, and those will be done relatively soon, which we will then use for survey operations. Okay, we've trained up 3 geological survey battalions, so that's all we need for training on those. with those battalions, we're going to move them over to Mars immediately. So let me grab our troop transports. And we are going to move all of them over. So I'm going to move those over to Mars, refuel, and we're also going to order up some new troop transports because I feel like we're going to need it. So we're going to go ahead and order another troop transport to be constructed. And we should now have infrastructure to start moving over colonists and infrastructure to Sirius, and more specifically to Moon 3 in Sirius, unload the colonists, unload the infrastructure, head back to Sol, and refuel at Earth. We're going to do this, cycle this enough to hopefully get, I don't know, 10 million people. So we're going to need to make, we'll do about 20 trips for this, which should be more than enough. And that is going to take, of course, quite a long time. But that is going to be the first colonists. Once our transports are done moving over people to Mars, I am going to deploy a colonial defense corps to the area. So we have moved over the scientists to Mars, and they will begin ground surveying Mars. That will take some time, of course, approximately based on this. If you ever want to know how to determine how long a geological ground survey will take, if you go over to this side, you turn on geosurvey points, go to Mars. Mars takes 340. Now, our formations over here generate 4.4. So we have 3 of them. That means they should generate about 12 per day, which means it shouldn't take very long at all. Now, we're going to start moving the ground units needed for defensive purposes. We're going to move the 5th Colonial Defense Corps, which we should have built, or should be the 4th Colonial Defense Corps. Let me just check our ground forces. We are going to load up the 4th Colonial Defense Corps. The entire 4th Colonial Corps. We are going to load it up, and we're going to take that over to Sirius and land that on the moon. I have ordered for approximately 160 mines, normal mines, to be moved to Mars for transportation purposes. We've also got kind of a thriving now civilian sector establishing itself. We have a total of 9 ships currently available. They're moving things like infrastructure, pharmaceuticals, and other things that will allow Mars to now grow organically, which is really, really nice to see. We are also now seeing they are now going to Sirius because the first colonists have arrived on Sirius. And we have stabilized. It looks like we should have stabilized on this end for Sirius, which does now mean that we can look at an invasion force going in. So yes, we have stabilized. Good job, Hyperion. So we're going to have the Hyperion pull back to Sirius and begin stabilizing the 61 Cygni jump point. It's good. True transport wise, we are a few days out because they have to do some extra stuff, and then we will look at moving over additional forces there. Cordelia did work for Altair. I'm going to stabilize on this side as well now. So already at 450,000 people on this moon, which is fantastic news, and we are increasing our mines on Mars quite significantly, which is also very, very good. We can see here the massive highway now that's being established here of transportation through Sirius. The most vital and most important trade link, because that's the only way out of the system, even if it's quite a far ways out. 3 new Achilles class, or 2 new Achilles class and 1 Aeschylus class. That's the troop transport. So that's 2 new survey vessels, which we will be putting into service, of course, and doing their job. We will also order up the UES Crimea, and I'm going to have our new vessels, the Steinfelia, as well as the Steinfelia and the Vegoridita. We're going to have them be deployed and get them surveying and doing their job. The destroyed outpost on Mercury has been fully surveyed. The alien race which inhabits the planet have been identified as the Shade, and their language and symbiology have been translated. 7 abandoned installations were identified as suitable for potential recovery. Unfortunate. Not what I was hoping for, but it was the worst. You know, it's the worst one in terms of transportation-wise. In terms of ruins, it's the worst ruin you can get, really. First transportation completed. So we're going to move a colonial core, the second colonial core, little subunits. Good job. Transportation, all of those in. Why can we not move the other one? Let me check. I think we're going to have to put more troops. I think I've screwed up the formula. So we're going to go ahead and grab the second colonial core. There we go. So we have all of those in there now. Perfect. Because it's a little bit over. That's why we are then going to head that over to 75 Apucci. 78 days. And I'm going to order the 1st Cruiser Defense Squadron. We're going to detach the Roadrunner. 1st Cruiser Defense Squadron, which previously did its duty, holding off the enemy, or fighting the enemy there. Refuel, resupply, and then you are going to follow our troop transports. You're going to actually join that as a subfleet and provide protection. Okay, the Cordelia finished up the work on ensuring that Altair was good. We're going to have them head back now. So that now gives us jump links to Altair and 75 Apucci, as we can see here. Very, very nice. And that opens us up to colonization on both sides of things. Do we have 3 transports which we can take? Not yet. In terms of mines, even though Matter now has a ton of mines, I actually want to check out our governor's situation. I would like a governor with mining capability, please. Wow, we really have no one, do we? You need to be assigned to Stephen O'Mata. So this is now mining quite a bit of Gallicite, quite a bit of resources. Is actually mining a good supplement to this. We can see our Empire mining here, and we can see who is mining what resources. Mars is also now at 92 mines, and they will begin to be able to start shipping over to Earth those necessary resources. We're currently mining 1,766 tons. That corundium especially is going to be important because we can then import more corundium, and that's really what we want to see. So, okay, massive news. Ground survey has been completed. Deposit of 16 million tons of uranium with accessibility 1 has been uncovered on Mars. Additional deposits of boronite have increased. We have also found deposits of sorium, varanderite, and macaesium. The corundium deposits have increased to 8.7 million. Corundium accessibility has increased to 1. Varanderite, macaesium now. The boronite increased to 0.8 accessibility, and we have a ton of other resources. My god, that is incredible. We have every kind of resource on Mars. Mars is big, it's here, and Mars is powerful. And we are going to build ships on Mars, build construction factories on Mars, and make Mars the center of it, because Earth will run out of resources. Mars is not going to run out of resources. Yes, the accessibility is not great, but Mars has a lot of resources and very, very close by. We need to look into terraforming immediately, and we also need to look into just transportation of as many people as possible. So I'm actually going to turn off the stable, and I'm going to say colonize as much as possible. Please colonize. And we're going to try and mine as many resources as possible. We are now mining 5,299 resources. We need to get more mass drivers over there. I am so excited. This is an amazing start. Absolutely amazing. The first transport division as well have arrived. And I'm going to order the first transport division to begin heading towards the planet. So head towards B2. 2.8 days to arrive at B2. And hopefully, God willing, our forces will survive and will be able to check for the enemy forces before we arrive in. And I hope the combat will go okay. We have 100,000 tons versus 1,600. Now, they are likely fortified, but not heavily. So we are above the planet. Who is in command of this glorious mission? Show ships. In command of the mission is... let's see here. Colonial Corps. Commander Major General Erwin Sansing. If you guys want me to rename characters, by the way, let me know, especially members. I will always love to do that. Erwin Sansing is in command. He is a capable officer. And let's actually have a look at some of his traits in particular. Here we go. Erwin Sansing. He is a contrarian, pessimistic, no outside interest, and uncaring. Well, he sounds perfect. Let's send him into battle. Unload all forces, please. Troop Transport Division. Why do we have cargo capacity in here? Oh, these guys have cargo capacity. That's going to need to be changed. Don't worry about it. I mean, they can bring stuff along with them, I guess. Okay, unload all ground forces, please. And God willing, how long will that take us? 2 days to do. This is gonna be rough. Okay, we've landed on the planet. All forces available and ready to go. We have again 100,000 tons. There are approximately 10,000 men landed on the planet. We're not going to provide orbital fire support, at least for now. We're going to see what the combat brings us. We are going to... Okay, we've opened fire. Here we go. 40 Centurions, 5 resupply infantry dead. Jesus, they are trading badly. They have a lot better tech than us. Armor strength of 15. Okay. Fire, fire, fire. What's our ground tonnage at the moment? 90,000 tons. Okay. Hold it off. Hold it off. They have 700 Centurions estimated. 48 Centurions dead. This is a very rough battle. I think we might get wiped out here. Oh no, losses have decreased. Oh, maybe our army has decreased. Okay, losses. We've lost 1,300 men. Fortification levels are going up, however, and we are now inflicting more casualties on the enemy. As you can see, the main issue here, if we have a look, is that we are unable to penetrate, I think. We are firing hits, right? And we're taking hits and we're automatically getting penetrated because they have so much better armor than us. However, if we have a look at us firing, we're penetrating very few times. We fired 6,739 shots. We hit only 87 times and penetrated only 32, destroying only 20. So their armor is extremely tough, and we're having a hard time breaking through. But we are taking a lot less losses, and we have a lot more people. So that is allowing us to do pretty decently. Yeah, 24 Centurions killed. We lost 160-ish men. Pretty heavy casualties, of course, here. This has really given us a wake-up call of what we need. We need additional forces here. The casualty numbers are going to be pretty horrific in this engagement, and we're going to have to report that, obviously, back to command and also back to, you know, the people, because we are a democracy. So we are, again, trading out here. Now, fortification levels should be increasing, which means that casualty rates are going to decrease. There are 600 tons of them left. But we are holding the line, and we are now trading about equally, which is good. The armor strength of one of their ground units is 40. Their technology is ridiculously more advanced than us. If we have a look at the alien ground unit class types here, they have an armor strength of 15, a hit point value of 10. So that means that they have, ground forces wise, they have 4 extra racial armor than us, which is a lot. They also have a damage weapon here of 12 on this, which is pretty insane, which means they have H cap. They're doing 6 shots. Very nasty. The Praetorian leader has been hit 34 times and not damaged. It's a heavy vehicle. It has a weapon that does 72 penetration. That is nasty. And it looks like we've managed to do it. We did get some breakthroughs. Breakthrough achieved. Breakthrough achieved. And we have, I think, now wiped them out. At least we're about to. We've wiped out the enemy and we have secured victory for the United Earth States against that force. What are casualty rates looking like? Casualty rates. We lost 30,000 tons in the assault. Over probably 4,000 men died to achieve that objective. We have managed to hold the line and we will get replacements and resupply for these forces here, but they will hold the planet for now. And we will begin to do two things. First off, we're going to start colonization efforts immediately. Second off, we are going to just hold there with our forces for now. So, and also move over additional things. I'm going to have the destroyer cruiser squadron hold above orbit, and the transports head back to Sol and to load up colonial engineer battalions, not colonial engineer battalions, but the colonial analysis battalions. We're going to load those up, take those over 75 Pucci and unload them from there. What is clear is we need more transportation capacity, as that is going to be very, very important coming up here. So I'm going to continue to build more vessels to keep transporting more people around. The 75 Apuche aliens have been defeated. Our forces did not find any installations or useful materials. Good job, guys. I am scared about assaulting the next one, so we are going to need to look into some ground force research. We do have powered infantry armor available, but I want to create some better, just better everything. We need more research labs. We need maybe heavy vehicles, maybe make some tank cores, proper, capacity, stuff like that. And we can really start pumping out ground forces. Another troop transport has finished construction over Earth, which is beautiful. And to protect all of our assets, I'm going to order up a new squadron of ships. So I'm going to order up new ships, the Third Lance, Bushmaster, and King Cobra, as well as the Ro Eridani as ships that we will be putting into service. Sirius now has a population of 1.3 million people on this moon. Again, we need a name for that. And Stephen O'Mata is getting some more resources. Well, we need to build up this Mars as much as we can. But I think that's where I'm going to leave the episode off, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, and lots of Aurora content on the way. I'm very excited for this series. We've hit it very lucky, and hopefully the NPRs will give us a challenge.